Welcome to Quick Power Rental's series of videos. In this video, we would like to show you how to write and execute load testing scripts using multiple load bank groups. The setting up of groups was covered in a previous video. If you don't know how to set up groups, we suggest that you go back and view that video before watching this one. First, why would you want to have a script? There are several reasons. 1. Automation. It's kind of nice to be able to click on a button and get through testing, especially if you are going to be doing the same test on several different systems. 2. Coordination of multiple load banks to get nearly instantaneous load steps. This is especially important when doing transient testing. Gone are the days of multiple people trying to flip switches at the same time. 3. Integration with the CX Monitor power quality meter. Using this system with the CX Monitor PQM makes sure that you capture each step and speeds the report writing process after the fact by making the data much easier to sort out. Second, why would you want to set up multiple groups of load banks? The main reason is if you have multiple outputs on a system that you're tying the load banks into. For instance, you could have multiple breakers fed from the same generator system, but the breakers are set to trip at different amperages. You can put the load banks into groups based on these ratings to ensure that you don't trip anything during testing and that everything is still coordinated as a single load bank system. Let's imagine a scenario similar to what we just described. We are testing a 2000 kW diesel generator, but we have a 1600 amp breaker and two 800 amp breakers. We will create 3 groups, one for each breaker, and name them based on the breaker's designation in the field so we can keep track of them, especially the two 800s, which are identical. For more information on how to create a group, go to our website. Notice that in the group settings we limit each group so as not to exceed the breaker rating, and so that combined, including the fan offset, the total available load will be 2000 kW. We have the 1600 amp breaker set up to have a maximum of 1000 kW applied, and each 800 amp breaker set up to have a maximum of 500 kilowatts worth of load applied to each, for a total of 2000 kilowatts. Next, I will add the appropriate load banks to each group. An LP1000 to the 1600 amp breaker, an LP1000 to one 800 amp breaker, and an LP600 to the remaining breaker. We are all set up to begin writing our scripts. To begin writing the script, you need to first click on the Scripts tab on the menu on the left side. In this window is where you will both write and execute our scripts. Working clockwise but starting in the top left, we see the step list script itself. There are buttons above this window for adding, deleting, copying, and renaming each step. In the upper middle are the groups available to you. We use this window when writing scripts. In the top right is the duration field, which allows you to adjust the duration of each step in your script. Below that, you can see the group settings for the highlighted group. Clicking through, we can see that we already have our design max kW set for 2000 kilowatts, which takes into account our fan offset that we programmed in. Below are 2 buttons, Pick Load and Copy Power to all groups. We use these to program each step for a particular amount of power. We'll go over Copy Power to all groups in another video. At the bottom right is the script activation. From here you can start and stop your script. Lastly, in the lower left are the script groups. These act as a real-time gauge so you can see what amount of load is applied to each group of load banks. In our current case, we have 3 groups. Let's begin writing a script. Again, this script will be with us only using multiple groups. There's typically a step called Step 001 already existing. First, you want to highlight this step. Next, on the right side of the page, you'll make sure your group is also highlighted, and then click on Pick Load. From here, you can select from a range of kW presets, which are in percentages of the design max we set up for our group. While we have buttons for up to 100%, we can also manually enter in load steps above 100%, provided they are less than the safety max that we set up for the group. Lastly, you can type in the amount of load in kW that you want in the target kW field. In this case, I want to start at 0, so I'll select 0% from the presets and click Apply Load, and do that for all 3 groups. Don't worry, selecting Apply Load doesn't apply the load to the load banks right now. It simply programs that step. Next, you need to select the duration of the step. With that same step still highlighted, click on the duration field. From here, put in how long you would like that step to last. Since this is just my 0% starting step, I think I'll only set it for 5 seconds. You want to keep your steps organized so you can easily tell what they are, so you should name each step. Still with the same step highlighted, click on Rename Step at the top of the screen. Here you can call the step whatever you want. I'll name it 0% start. This is a very useful feature if you are using the CX Monitor or CX Plus power quality monitors networked into our system, as these step names will get uploaded into the field notes in the data so you can easily tell which steps are which. So we've written our first step. I'll finish this up going in 25% increments to 100%. Click New Step. Make sure your desired group is selected, then pick Load. Pick 25%. Do the same for the other groups. Change duration to 20 seconds on this one. I'll rename this to 0 to 25%. To speed things up, I'll copy this last step so I can skip the duration step. Pick Load. Select 50%. OK. Rename step 25 to 50%. And continue this up to 100%. Now you have a short but complete script that we can execute. What now? First, let's make sure the load banks are on and ready to go. 1. Make sure you have control power at the load banks and that the main power switch is on. Note that some load banks don't need a separate 120 volt source. 2. Make sure you have power from the system under test at the load banks. 3. Go back to the Groups tab and make sure the control state is on. 4. Turn the blower state on. Go back to the Scripts tab. If you're ready to start your script, make sure the first step, or whichever step you want to start on, is highlighted. In the lower right-hand corner, select Start at Highlighted Step. Now sit back and watch as it goes through each step. Here's a tip. Under script activation, you can see the time that the current step started. If you need to coordinate with anyone and give them an idea when the next step will be applied, open the clock on the computer. Here you can see the seconds and countdown to the next step. If at any time you need to stop the script, you can click Stop Script. Note that this doesn't take the load to 0, but rather stops the script where it is at. If you need to take load off, you can easily highlight any step that has 0 load and click Start and Stop again. Or you can go to the Group tab and click Shed Load. When you go to restart your test, the step that you start on will start from the beginning of that step. So say you were in the middle of a 2-hour burn at a specific load and stopped an hour into it. It doesn't pause and restart with an hour left to go. It will start again at the beginning of the duration of that step. You can easily adjust the duration of the step and then continue if that is what is desired. We have successfully run through our script. Creating scripts with a single group is pretty much the same, but we've made another video for doing this for your ease. We hope that you have found this video useful. For more how-to videos related to our equipment or to learn more about what we do, visit us at www.quickequip.com. If you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call at 877-383-4040 or email us at rentals@quickequip.com. We are the load testing experts and are here to help. We hope to hear from you soon.